Oh, he's awesome. He's the nicest guy, and he's always been good to me and my brothers, and always willing to cut a deal. I always feel guilty when I go to another comic shop and drop cash there, because I feel like he kind of is expecting it from me.
Hi, my name is Terry Kilcanyon, owner of Unicorn Comics and Cards in Villa Park, and we opened a store way back in 1982. Well, I started collecting comics full time, believe it or not, when I was 7 years old, and I bought my first comic in this store when I was 5 years old, back when it was an old soda fountain drugstore back from the 1940s all the way into the late 60s. Well, when we first opened up back in 82, you either had a card store or a comic book store, and we kind of combined the two. So we had like a cross reference of collectors for cards or for comics. So we were kind of unique at the time, and that's how we came up with the term unicorn. And then I started doing comic book shows when I was 16 years old, setting up tables, and I was able to trade and get in comics that I was looking for, and I really thought that that would be kind of like a neat occupation when I got older. I think it's pretty much the personal service where if you come in December and if you're looking for a specific comic and you actually tell me, hey, if you ever come across that, even if you'd come in a few months later, I've got a pretty good memory where I'd be able to remember what you were collecting, and if that came in those next few months, I'd probably put it on the side for you, and I'd probably bring it out and surprise you. And I think that personal touch, because my brother and I are always here, we get to know the people and what they collect. It's ever been cooler to be into this type of medium right now. I mean, with all the amounts of TV shows ranging anywhere from Gotham to Green Arrow to just tons, even like with Preacher and everything. And then the movies that are coming out now too. Back in 1988 to the early 90s, we came out with 4 issues of the New Beginning comic, and I wrote it, and one of my good friends slash customer, he drew it, and we actually did fairly well. We sold like 7,000 copies of number 1 nationwide. At that point, it's a combination of almost like a Mad Max slash, I know this sounds crazy, but it's got hints of definitely Walking Dead in it, probably 10 years before Walking Dead came out. And it's like a post-apocalyptic scenario. And back in the mid-'80s, you didn't see much of that. Now, it's all over. And the place pretty much looks the same. I've got posters hanging on the wall that my other nephews did. They've been up there since the 1980s. And now they're both in their late 30s and everything, and when they come visit me during the summer, they look up there and they can't believe I still got those hanging. So I think for nostalgic reasons, a lot of times people do like seeing the same thing they might have remembered 10 or 15 years ago. I would say make sure you're really going to enjoy what you're doing, where it isn't like work, where again, I can't overemphasize enough where if it feels like drudgery, don't do it. And if you really enjoy it, try to give 150%. And no matter what type of business you'd be into, I think you could succeed at it. Well, right now, I believe it or not, I don't have any plans on retiring because still it's a lot of fun and I enjoy coming to work. And hopefully I'll be around long enough that I can continue to do it in the future.